Yo, what's good YouTube? It's boardzy, and this is going to be a roundup featuring 6 or 7 new-ish mouse releases that I hadn't gotten around to covering from Razer, Vaxee, Ninjutso, Pulsar, the whole 9, you know. I really just wanted to make a video on this Viper V3 green colorway, to be honest. But yeah, really, I do owe a lot of mice some coverage after this Viper V3 Pro. This is the esports green colorway. Previously, only pros had been using it. I didn't know if they were going to gatekeep it, but now the layperson can get this. It's only a $10 premium from the standard white and black colorways, and no colorways ever looked so vibrant and green. I personally like it a lot. I know some people are hating. They have the R and they have the G. Now they just need the B, and they like practically have the whole rainbow. But the coating on this is closer to the black, just this faker colorway as well, rather than the ultra glossy or like even the white, like super rubberized feeling. Like, it's a fine coating. There's no issues with the performance or quality implementation on my unit whatsoever. Like, it feels really good. But there is nothing new to say. You know, it comes on my scale at 54 grams. The performance feels identical to all of the other Viper V3 Pros I have on my desk. So it is a colorway I can actually give a recommendation to. And the premium is not insane like the Pokemon releases, and it's even cheaper than the Sentinels one, I believe. So it gets a vouch. Esports green, I mean, what a color. It is honestly my favorite mouse out of all of the ones I'm going to be talking about in this video. And now this is one, the Ninjutso 10. It just, like, it kind of feels awkward. It reminds me, so many people are saying GPX, but it's not. Like in hand and actually using it, it feels much closer to the Vaxee XE due to the sides, and also somewhat similar to the Ninjutso Katana, just like an awkward previous shape Ninjutso had. This is like, it's at 45 grams. It's not awful. Yeah, just subjectively, my experience with this mouse was not good. The one really good thing I can say is the shell quality does feel extremely strong in my unit's case. The click quality, really not good. There's a lot of side-to-side movement, pre-travel, just like a very weak and like hollow sound. It sounds like I'm a hater. I know this is under $100. It's 45 grams. It's not like an awful deal, and maybe if you do palm grip or if you just enjoy this like XE style of shape, you might really enjoy this, and it is a lighter alternative. But I can't say I can't say many good things about it, just based on my use with it. The stock skates they provide, people warned me, but they are just like this truly hard, different material. I don't know like why they wouldn't just go the standard PTFE route. And yeah, really that's the reason I didn't cover this mouse previously. It was just very unimpressive. A lot of like the new features they marketed, I didn't feel like were that good. The coating and just the shape experience kind of feels like a bar of soap. One of the things I find awkward about the shape, because I know I haven't really explained it, is it doesn't have like the same straightness at the front for your ring finger as the actual Superlight does. So my fingers, they just don't like get locked in the same way. Even the thumb area, and just like it has this weird bulk to it. You can tell it was based off of the Ninjutso Katana, and they kind of just like made it smaller. The side buttons, they really aren't that bad, but they are high up. So yeah, the time I did use this mouse in Fortnite, I did have to like raise my thumb, alter my grip style around that. And most of the time I was just thinking about swapping back to a shape mouse I'm more familiar with and comfortable with. So it sounds harsh. It's kind of why I didn't want to cover this, because I know like in the modern mouse market, this does have modern specs. People will enjoy it, but I found it to be such a weak release. And it's not like I'm against Ninjutso. I feel like this VGN Dragonfly F2, granted it is like half the price, but it's equally unimpressive. This one, it is more of a unique shape. It is a flatter design. It's not going to have like a high hump. This mouse wants to be a larger version of the G-Wolves HTX, but it's much heavier. Granted, like I said, it's around $50, but it completely loses any like viability when you compare it to the ATK F1 Extreme. Like the sides of the mouse, the profile, it is very different, but if you want something like safer, flatter sides, more Viper Mini like, way lighter, it's been out for a year, like good quality all around, it's just I couldn't recommend the F1 Extreme more over this. And yeah, VGN is a sub-brand of ATK, and it's just like, I don't know, who is this really for? The side button implementation is very high up on the mouse, just totally awful, especially when you consider that this is an elongated shape. It does have very low button height towards the front. These are Omron opticals, and the quality is like, it's good, not great. I could totally see it deteriorating, and I'm not gonna lie, this does just have like a kind of cheap, plasticky feel all around. It feels like, I mean, feels good for a $50 mouse, but it doesn't seem like it's on the bleeding edge of really like budget design and implementation. Like at just $20-$30 more, you can get an F1 Extreme, and it's just way better in my opinion. So I'm sure you guys can tell why I don't cover many of these new releases. I just don't really feel anything positive towards them. I'm sure like people can perform at a top level using this, and for like $50-$60, whatever it costs, it's a perfectly fine product, but it just doesn't add anything to the mouse market. Mini XPC sent this to me, so you can check it out there, AliExpress, wherever you can find the best price. But I don't see that having much of a place in the budget market. And yeah, now for a Vaxee NP01S Ergo Large. This is one I actually did like a lot, and I should have reviewed. I honestly don't know why I didn't. Probably just because it falls right between the NP01S and the standard size NP01. It is noticeably wider than the standard NP01S. This does have like a bit more maneuverable, nimble of a feeling, but they advertise on their website, and Vaxee's often pretty good with the website descriptions, that this is good for people who are used to a lot of palm contact. So when I do like kind of a relaxed claw grip on this mouse, it definitely provides way more support than the standard NP01S does, which I've always said is like one of my favorite shapes, but it's just a bit too small, too narrow, too low for me to consistently use. So if you had a similar experience with the NP01S, maybe this Ergo version could be good for you, but if you are somebody who's satisfied with the small size, this would probably just feel a bit too bulky. And even for me, like this having good side button position for Fortnite, not really being too heavy of a weight, too bulky of a shape, I don't know why I'm not really using it so much nowadays. The skates are even, I believe, a collaboration with Unusual Way Esports for Magic Ice skates. So there's just really nothing for me to complain about with this release. It's Vaxee quality, like I mentioned, but I just eventually swapped back to like the Viper V3 Pro over it. I was also testing it around the time the GPX2C came out. So, I mean, I don't know. It's just this mouse market's kind of crazy. There's so many high quality releases. This is probably like seal of approval level. But at this point, you're either Vaxee pilled or you're not. I get comments whenever I review Vaxee saying like, oh, $140 for 60 grams. This isn't worth it. Some people get it, but even so, this release, it's not exactly rocket science. I've pretty much explained everything that differentiates it from the standard NP01S, and all of the other features are the same within the lineup. This asymmetrical shape just did not beat out standard ambies for me. But like I said, it's totally, this is mainable. It's a size, it's a shape that I'm comfortable with. It's a release I can recommend, but I just don't go crazy about it due to the number of options that there are nowadays. And now the last mouse I'm going to cover in this video is the Pulsar X3 Crazylight. And honestly, I don't know if this is a leak because Pulsar's already announced it, but the X2 Crazylight Medium is going to release in a few days. So I might just wait, get a bit more testing on this before I do anything really. The main reason I'm excited about this is because I can begin my left-handed aiming arc, and I will say palm grip with my left hand on this mouse feels incredibly natural. I was even using it with my right hand a bit just to prove that shape doesn't matter, and you will be surprised. Like, this is a totally usable experience, so I'm becoming less and less shape-pilled. But the moral of the story with this is that Pulsar is just Crazylight-ifying their lineup. And yeah, I should mention on my scale, the X3 Crazylight comes in at 45 grams, so for like a mini G703, very high-profile, like non-standard Ergo shape, I think it's a good weight, but it's not like something I'm really going to be using a ton, and more will come in the X2 Crazylight Medium review. So that's going to be about all for this video. I may have fell short of the 6 or 7 mice. More reviews are to come. I do have some more stuff, but you can tell how deeply my heart is in the game. So make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Any comments, questions, feel free to leave them below, and peace out.